You are now listening to the Gospel of Alex. Alex, drop those scriptures. Church is in session.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Shout out to the Elite Fleet. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can become a member of the Elite Fleet. I ain't shooting one of my camera with the studio and the backdrop for a minute, so we're going to do that today, because today we're talking about that crazy ass therapist, the one who needs therapy but decided it was a good idea to come online and talk about her black male therapist clients who confided in her. I talk about how more black men need therapy because we lack emotional control, emotional intelligence, and emotional depth. Well, she's back because she's broke as hell now, rightfully so, because she got fired, rightfully so, because she was making racist and sexist comments at the same time, ironically, against her own race. Go figure. But now she's blaming black men. Again, this time she's saying it's black men's fault because they've ruined her professional reputation. Which is why I decided to name this video Women Don't Take Accountability, episode 1,000,002. Because this is just another example of how no matter what happens, no matter what goes on, it just will not take accountability for what they did. How she can still be blaming men for this, I don't know. And I'd like to point out for y'all before we even get into the reaction, alright, that it was a black woman who got her fired. Not a black man, a black woman who got her fired, and rightfully so, because if you were to go back to her video and revisit the comments she made about black men, it's not even just that she told them to go and get therapy. It's not even just that she said they lack emotional depth and emotional intelligence. It's that she literally called them out of their name several times, including but not limited to the N-word. Without further ado, this is actually a funny ass case study in irony. Let's get straight into her video so we can get into the reaction. Let's go.
Let's have a fucking conversation, and I'm gonna need to sit down for this one because there's trauma involved. All right, so recently I've had an influx of male followers. The one common thing I keep seeing is them apologizing for actively destroying my fucking life. But I would like to explain why those apologies don't mean a single fucking thing to me. Let me continue.
Before she even explains why those apologies don't mean a single effing thing to her, I can pretty much tell you. Because she doesn't like men, specifically black men. I have a very hard time believing there's men of any other race coming and apologizing to her. Maybe one or two, but I'm pretty sure the overwhelming majority of the men coming to apologize to her are black men. I'm sure it's not a lot of them, but there's probably some. It should be none, because she completely deserves everything that she got. I mean, we're acting like we didn't just see a lawyer get fired for snatching a wig off of a woman's head. Black woman running around downtown in, I believe, New York with a blue wig on her head. Dude snatched the wig off her head, got assaulted by her, and then got fired from his lawyer job. Everybody went and said he should get fired because it was an assault. But this woman thinks she could come online and literally degrade and disrespect black men while having black male clients, I should say. I say comments. Clients. She thinks she can come online and do that and everything should be fine. I'm pissed off that there was some simps apologizing to her. Apologizing to her for what? She was rightfully fired. But that's the reason she don't want to accept their apology. Whatever BS reason she gives is a lie. It's because she don't like men, specifically black men. But let's continue.
People who struggle to take accountability only apologize after the fact once they see the ramifications of their actions.
Now, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? People only apologize after the fact when they see the ramifications of their actions. You mean how when your ass got fired and the heat was being put on you, how you came on TikTok, made a fake apology to black men, then took the apology right back when you got gassed up by these divestors and these other self-hating hoes. You talking about like that? You talking about how like you're coming at black men again right now, despite the fact that there are some men apologizing to you when there should be none apologizing to you because you were actually wrong? This is amazing. This is amazing. The irony, the gaslighting. Alright, which is going to be a big phrase in this video. We're going to come back to that, but let's continue.
Only apologize to make themselves feel better. Allow me to elaborate on what a real apology looks like. Real apologies involve an apology, taking accountability or ownership for what the fuck you did, and then changing the behavior. So corrective action.
She said, and I quote, "An apology includes an apology, taking accountability or ownership for what the fuck you did, and a change in behavior." Okay? She's done none of that. She took back her accountability, right? She took back her apology, which means she didn't take accountability for anything she did, and she's still not, because she's claiming that we ruined her professional reputation when she did it herself the minute she decided to go online and run her goddamn mouth for some social media clout. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be a boss, but if everyone's a boss, who's really working? You had a job. You lost your job. And let's just be honest here. You were a damn therapist. You probably weren't making that much money. If you really want to work, you can go and get you a job, make you about $50,000, $60,000, be a manager somewhere, use your degree, get you a paper and pencil pushing job, move some numbers around the slideshow, alright? Make some pinpoint Microsoft PowerPoints, whatever the case may be, and make that same $60,000. Let's stop acting like you were a six-figure earner. Alright? You weren't even a psychologist. You were entry level. So stop acting like you were making that much money. But again, someone should make a big ass pot and just put her in it. And the tea you would brew would be called lack of accountability, featuring a hint of irony. But let's continue.
Men saying, "Oh, I'm sorry that we got you fired." It's way beyond that. And let me explain to you the consequences of y'all anger, because I told you to get yourself some help.
But men didn't get you fired. A black woman got you fired. The gaslighting is crazy. First of all, she's saying her apologies are fake and she doesn't accept it when her apology was fake. Right? And here's the funny thing about gaslighting. Besides the fact that people make claims that you did something that you didn't do, it's also funny that there's a lot of projection that goes on. There's a lot of projecting. She's talking about fake apologies. She made a fake apology. She's talking about accountability, which she refuses to take. She won't even acknowledge that she just really needs to see a therapist herself, because she clearly has a problem with men, specifically black men. So you're just going to gaslight the men who are trying to make you feel better for no real reason by acting like everything that you're doing right now is what they're doing. Let's continue.
I'm going to try to get through this without getting emotional, but y'all know me. What happened was the equivalent of y'all putting the nails in the coffin. I was already in such a fucked up place. And then on top of losing my job and my clients, my life has been exponentially more difficult. My car's almost been repossessed twice. I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent daily or fucking monthly.
Oh, so now she wants to put on the fake tears and play victim. We already know whatever women get in the bind, what are they going to do? They're going to play victim. Even when they were the bully. She was the bully, but now she's playing victim. And, well, Alex, how do you know they're fake tears? Maybe she's really crying. This is how I know they're fake tears. Is it men's fault that her way out of this was to decide to do this?
Girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm not going to do it, girl. I was just thinking about it. I'm not going to do it. I did it.
Now, was that men's fault too? And if you pay attention, that's in the same outfit in the same room, which means she recorded that the same day. How do you go from crying about how you're not going to be able to pay your rent and pay your bills to talking, smiling and laughing about making the OnlyFans? This woman is emotionally unstable. Definitely a narcissist. A lot of different things you could throw at her. But the reality of the situation is, if anyone needs therapy, she needs therapy. Leave it to women to tell you to do something that they need to do. 25% of women in America are on head meds. 25. 20 maybe at the lowest. 1 out of 5, I think it's 20. But I don't remember if it was 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 4. But the point is, there's a lot more women who've been diagnosed with mental health disorders than there are men who've been diagnosed with mental health disorders. Yet they always run around calling other people narcissists, telling other people that they're emotionally unstable, telling other people they need to go and get therapy. And when the reality is, it's a projection. These are all the things you should be doing. And that's all this woman is doing. And before some dumbass comes and says, not all women, we know that. I'm talking about most. Alright, not all women. As a matter of fact, most women who are therapists wouldn't be stupid enough to go online and do what she did. So clearly we're not talking about all. We're talking about one very special retarded head case here. And she's hitting all the typical cues. Alright? Lack of accountability, gaslighting. She's gaslighting all over this video. She keeps saying things that men never said and projecting things that's really about her and how she feels and what she did onto them and making it seem like they did it. Alright? Using her body to get herself out of a bind, aka selling her V-Box. Now she's crying and playing victim. Next, she's probably going to ask for donations. Let's see. Let's see if she asks for donations. She's going to get them too. That's the crazy part. Let's see.
My electric literally just got cut off last week. Despite my best efforts of trying to start my own shit, of trying to pick myself up by my bootstraps, despite my best efforts, the shit has not worked. My life has gone down the fucking drain, bro. Y'all have ruined my professional reputation. Y'all have ruined my mental health. I have panic attacks all the time. The PTSD is through the roof. I don't even like leaving my house. I have to look over my shoulder constantly because I might encounter somebody who is angry behind me telling them to better themselves. I am in such financial ruin that it causes significant mental health distress. I don't sleep. I can't even afford to feed myself, so I can't even properly take care of myself, which hurts because I don't even have the proper resources to help people. You're like literally cut off.
Alright, so why don't you get a job? You know, a JLB, put in an application, a job application. That scares Gen Z. A job application. I don't even think she's Gen Z. I think she's a retarded millennial. I don't know what the hell she is. By the way, why don't you get a job? You talking about how you can't afford your light bill and your car's about to get repossessed. You can't pay your car insurance. You don't know where your rent's going to come from. Your electric is off. You sure as hell paying that phone bill, but that's neither here nor there. Why don't you go get a job? Maybe I would believe you were trying if you had a job, but instead she said, and I quote, "I've been trying to start my own business and do my own thing." Narcissist. Listen, she made that video thinking she was going to go viral, that she was going to be able to not have to work. The reality is she never wanted to work. If she enjoyed her job and she cared about what she was doing, she would have never said what she said. Because everybody knows when you work in the mental health field, similar to being a medical professional, client confidentiality is one of the biggest things they talk to you about. So anyone who's a therapist with 2 brain cells in their damn head would know better than to come online and say what she said in the first place. The woman didn't care about her job. She didn't want to keep her damn job. She wanted to be a social media celebrity. That's what she wanted to do. And because that video went viral, she didn't anticipate she would get fired. Because, well, women generally don't get held accountable for their damn actions. So I can't really blame her for not anticipating she was going to get fired. And then when she did get fired, she was still arrogant because she had so many divestors and self-haters gassing her up, putting a battery in her back. You ain't gotta apologize, tell them black men about themselves. That she thought that they were going to support her. Little did she know that due to majorly the fact that she has no real talent, that they weren't going to support her. They'll continue to put the battery in her back to talk about black men because they hate black men too. But that don't mean they're going to support you. That doesn't even mean that they like you. They just support when you're talking about black men. So anytime you try to do anything else, they won't help you at all. But the more you talk about black men, the further you get away from being able to get another job as a therapist. Alright, first of all, someone who was concerned about their mental health, if you're saying people are threatening you, you're afraid to go outside because someone might say something to you about the things you said, wouldn't the smartest thing and the first thing you should do be to get the hell off of social media? But nah, you still on there making TikToks. Still on there begging for donations. I don't even believe this woman's broke. We seen that white girl talking about some, "I'm living in my car now, guys. I don't have any money." And we found out she was a millionaire. I don't believe anyone who goes on social media and says that they're broke. Because you got time to go on social media and say that you're broke. You got time to work. It's one thing to say that you're struggling. It's another thing to say that you're making no money. If you're making no money, it's because you're not trying. Your car hasn't been repossessed today, so go drive Lyft. Do something. But nah, she never wanted to do anything. She didn't even want to be a therapist. What she wants to do is monetize her hate for black men. What she would like to be is Cynthia G. But she isn't as talented as Cynthia G. Even though she goes on TikTok all the time with no clothes on, that sloppy ass body, looking like the capital letter P. It ain't gonna work out for her, but she's also not gonna stop trying it. Because she does not want to get a job. If she wanted to get a job, she'd have one. So, in summation, do I feel bad for her? Hell no. Should anybody feel bad for her? Hell no. And anyone who actually knows this woman or actually cares about this woman, or if she runs across this video, she needs to get her damn self a therapist and work out figuring out what her deep-rooted issue with men, specifically black men, is, so that she can fix it and move on with her life in a healthy way. Because this is a woman that clearly lacks guidance, can't possibly have a father around talking the way that she talks. I just don't believe it. And she's going to need male masculine guidance at the highest level to get her broken ass back in order. So how about you get a therapist yourself, take your own damn advice and help yourself instead of trying to help everybody else. Pick the broken pieces of yourself back up, put them back together, and start to get your own damn life in order instead of coming online playing victim and crying for donations. You're not going to get the donations. Alright? Also, I'd suggest you make up your mind on whether or not you want to be a therapist or if you want to be a social media influencer, because the reality of the situation is you ain't going to be able to be both. Those two fields don't mix. They don't mix. Not only is there a number of rules and regulations on what you could even say in your field on social media in the first place, you're damn sure ain't going to be able to have free reign and opinion on black men as a whole and their mental health as a whole and what they should and shouldn't be doing. This is supposed to be a non-biased listening ear that uses people's past experiences and what you could judge based upon how they're acting and what they're personally going through at the moment to come up with some form of a diagnostic or some type of a plan to put them back together. What you're not supposed to do is come online and disparage them. And the fact that, again, you're taking absolutely no accountability for the situation you put yourself in, yeah, sis, you the one who need a therapist. Get yourself right before you worry about black men or really helping any people in general. That's my thoughts on that. I am Alex, and I am out. Peace. The hell with this whole.